The stream is live and we are back. I mean, I'm back.
You're
And
back.
I'm
Yay.
back. I was back 2 weeks ago, and then last week we didn't do the update. I don't even remember why, but we didn't. But we're back today, and we will start with the update. Susan with Deborah, of course, for I think a quick update, but always relevant, of course, for the Mentor Project. And then we got Bob Cousin with us, which will have an entire story to share.
Yay.
Susan, you excited for this?
I am, Marco. I'm so glad to be back with you, and it's great to be here. And it's of course always great to have Debbie as well. Now, Bob. So great. Debbie, start
Well,
off with those updates.
I will, and it's so good to have you back, Marco. We missed you. Um, I have a few updates. They're really good ones. First of all, we are ready to take on more mentees. We sort of put a pause because we grew too fast. So we have a new platform that is going to allow mentors and mentees to connect in ways that are really amazing. And so go ahead. If you want to become a mentee, we have some of the most elite mentors in the world. And one of the new things that Bob is going to be talking about today is the Innovation Lab. Go ahead and put that right on there if you are a mentee and you want to check out the Innovation Lab. But mentors and mentees will be getting onboarded onto our new platform. So that is my big update. Go ahead, sign up, and get ready for a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think a lot of innovation too.
Mhm.
And where can people find those? So I know if they're just listening later from when we're on, where can they find it? Those forms.
Go to mentorproject.org and we have a Become a Mentee button. Just press that button and it'll take you into a magical place, the Mentor Project, with lots of amazing mentors.
That's great.
And sure is magical. You know what is magical for me though? It's innovation. I have the podcast that talk about technology and society, and it's all about innovation. And I am looking forward actually to the upcoming meeting about what the Innovation Lab is going to bring to the table. And just as a very good appetizer, we will we'll have an overview today with Bob. So Bob, thank you for joining us, and take it from here.
Well, thank you for having me. The important thing that everyone needs to remember is that innovation is important and has gotten us out of caves and hunter gatherers and uh, having to live around fires to modern society, and has allowed us to address so many of our problems. What we really want is people who want to change the world in a big way or a little way. People who want to make their contribution, people who want to help us to move one step farther away from living in a cave, people who want to eliminate some type of human suffering, people who want to make something better, make something improved, or just maybe make it different, people who want to explore new concepts. This is what we're looking for. What we want is someone who plans to leave a mark on the world in a good way. And it's funny, there are lots of them. Many of the world of nerds contain fantasies and thoughts of wonderful ideas, many of which can come to fruition. So, the purpose of the Mentor Project, especially the Innovation Lab, is to allow them to understand how to develop those ideas, how to protect those ideas, perhaps with patents, how to convert them into business opportunities that can be taken forward, how to interface and work with other resources, how to do the networking that you need to become successful. In other words, we're trying to give you a kit for taking your dreams and making them reality. Now, we're paying mostly attention to technical topics. So this is in the STEM world. But that doesn't mean that someone who's not interested in STEM but interested in another topic wouldn't learn a lot. But what we're trying to do is bring in people who are professional inventors, people who who are technologists, people who have intellectual property backgrounds, people who have experience developing and bringing things to market, and having them work one-on-one with individuals, and to allow them to learn more and see how things are going. Also, they can watch the other people in the innovation lab as they move forward and as they have ideas and thoughts.
You know what's so interesting as I listen to you, Bob, is that I don't think of myself as an innovator. However, when I hear you describe what an innovator is, creative people, and I believe we all have creativity in us, really anybody can be an innovator, because if you're creative, you connect. Because I'm thinking, oh, I'm that. I want to do that, And so it's really interesting. You're changing, for me, the way I think about what innovation is and what being an innovator is. So thank you.
Well, Susan, I've known you for years, and you are an innovator. All of you are innovators in your own way. And by the way, I'm going to say something kind of sad. Most parents can't help but having innovated, because no two parents operate the same way. And there's not a detailed enough manual of parenting so that you don't make up something along the lines. And sometimes you make up things that work really well. But more importantly, there are a lot of youths, and I say youths under the age of 80, who are frustrated because they have ideas, but they don't know what to do with them. And the truth of the matter is that it's difficult. It's difficult if you don't know what to do, and it's difficult if you don't have someone to brainstorm with. The single most important capability of an innovator is to brainstorm, to exchange ideas, and to evolve ideas in the face of reality and other concepts. And that's one of the things that we are trying very hard to help people to do. The other thing is to learn how to express their ideas in such a way that they can bring other people into the fold. It is amazing how difficult it can be to explain a new idea. I have a friend who was the person who wrote the first spreadsheet. And when his name's Bob Frankston, and he told me one day that he had to write it because he couldn't explain it very well to other people, because no one had ever seen one before. It's the classical idea of a black swan. If you haven't seen a black swan, how do you know a black swan even exists? So when people have new ideas, by definition, they're in terra incognita, and we need to help them to tie it back to the real world.
And Bob, I know you mentioned that you work individually with people, but I understand that you also, when you referred to the Innovation Lab, it's actually a group, right? You also meet with people in groups as well?
Both.
Yeah. And what came to my mind was, and we've talked about this in other ways, and I know, Bob, you're a big fan of this, is that sometimes it takes somebody not in the actual industry or field or work, someone from the outside, to actually solve that problem. And so what I'm thinking about is how wonderful the Innovation Lab could be, because you're talking about possible ideas with a mix of people from all different fields. So that's just my fantasy, not having been attended last year's Innovation Lab, but it's my thoughts.
Actually, you're right doubly. Allow me to tell you why. First of all, there is a concept in technical topics of mappings between one discipline and another, where you have actually a one-to-one relationship. For example, the equations of electrical engineering and mechanical engineering are very similar. You can actually map what a spring does as opposed to the electrical equivalent thereto. And if you know one discipline, but you don't know another one, you may help to solve a problem that's not solved in that other discipline. John von Neumann, one of my great heroes and probably the smartest man who lived in the 20th century, published a number of mathematical papers, most of which are important because of problems he solved in areas that he didn't realize he was solving. Now, the other way in which you are right is that you need fresh perspective. There's many examples of solutions that come simply because someone asks the stupidest, most ignorant question that turned out to be the smartest, most insightful question because they didn't know. One of the interesting examples of this is with modern no-till farming. For hundreds and hundreds of years, since Uriah Heep published his first book uh, um, about how best to drill grain and plow fields, that's been the way farmers operated. But in the last 50 years, they've realized that maybe, just maybe, we don't need to plow the soil every time. Maybe it's better for the soil not to be plowed. And as a result, we have a completely different philosophy that came about by someone asking the obvious but ignorant question of, why do you plow your fields every spring?
Yeah. Bob, I want to take this opportunity very quickly to connect with this, and it's the importance of, and I'm gonna quote another mentor, Neil Cummins. What if, right, with a question mark, and that I think is at the base of every amazing invention, every major change in our society, every hacker that I talk to, like people that says, what if I can make this better? What if I can? What if things could be better? So what drives innovation, I think, is very, very important. And I would love to have your quick thoughts on this. And then Deborah, sorry, back to you.
Well, absolutely. You have to want to improve the world. And everyone has their own definition of the world. Some people want to leave a mark on literature. Some people want to leave a mark on their neighborhood. Some people want to leave a mark inside of their family. But the net is they want to leave the world a better place. And that's not in conflict with wanting to make a lot of money. That's not in conflict with wanting to be famous or any of the other motivations that people might have. But I'm not interested in working with someone who doesn't want to make the world better. And that's just the truth. That's the most important thing to me. It's because those are the people who are going to try to have a big impact on life. And whether large or small, they will attempt to bring about an improvement, whether it's inventing penicillin or figuring out how to take the words new and improved off of everything stupid in the grocery store. Innovation has many forms. And yes, we have to work with these people and allow them to grow. They need to stretch their arms in an environment in which they can work hard, but they can also get feedback from their friends that's positive and reasonable and help them to grow. Because many people who have an idea don't have one, they have dozens or hundreds. And so we're not giving birth to one hit wonders here. We're giving birth to the long-term fans of rock and roll. We're the stars of the movies, the J.K. Rowlings and all of these other people who are repetitive winners. That's the people we're going to give birth to here.
I wanted to say, Bob, the one thing I don't think that people understand or know is that our mentors are amazing, like Bob is, world changers, like Bob is, but they're doing it for no cost. Mentees come in and they get to innovate and do things for no cost. And Bob has given more than $500,000 worth of mentor hours just last year for just one mentee. And if you think about that, the value that he's putting out into the world, that it's unbelievable. It's millions of dollars of his brain hours that if he were to charge at a company, this is what people are getting right now. It's an unbelievable opportunity to be able to work with people of Bob's caliber. And that to me is just mind blowing. We were just calculating it the other day and we were like, what? Those amazing conversations turned into something that most people would never be able to afford to do on their own.
I get more than I pay. This is too much fun, and frankly, I can't imagine, any combination of illicit drugs would feel anywhere near as wonderful as this for even just a few seconds. No, this is a wonderful thing that we can do, and it's a lot of fun, and I invite other people to try it.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I invite other people who want to help people walk to the future, and I invite people who want to try it and who have ideas or don't have ideas. Just get your feet in the water.
I was laughing when you made the comment about the drugs, and I was just picturing the new advertisement for the Mentor Project. Say no to drugs, say yes to mentoring.
Pleasure can come from many different things. And
want a high? Go to the mentorproject.org.
Yeah, the high of learning, the high of discovering, the high of getting together with these amazing people, it blows my mind every time. So, yeah. Well, I think we're over the 15 minutes, but I think, Bob, you are fantastic in delivering just the right amount of motivation and inspiration for everyone here. I'm sure the audience will be excited. If you have any questions, please, this is live. It's going to stay on LinkedIn. Comment, ask question. We'll be back next week, and we'll try to answer this question if we can. Other than that, Deborah, Susan, should we finish? Something more to add?
No, I think we're good. Thank you, Bob. This was great. Looking forward to
Thank you for having me.
Well, with a guest like this, we don't need to be host because it's so easy, right?
Turn on the yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned. Go visit the Mentor Project. Right here, there is the link on the LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this. And join us. We're waiting for you. Take care, everybody.
Bye.